So this question comes from Sabrina. Let's see here. I've been watching your videos for a few years now, and what caught my attention that in some of your videos you mentioned iOS development and Android development. The question is, how would a newbie go about learning enough so that they can make money from doing so, or even setting up a business with the skills obtained? I'm looking forward to your response. Well, basically, the way you get skills at any of this and try to start a business with any of this is you go out and you start talking to people and you ask them, hey, have you ever thought about creating a little Android app or iOS app? Really? Could I create that for you? Right? So if you're going to go into the programming world, something that is as valuable, at least as your programming skills, is the drive to actually create programs. So all the very successful programmers that I know are constantly creating things, even if they're not getting paid. Basically, they sit down, they take a look around, they see something, and they go, "Ooh, I want to play with that." So I know here in the Baltimore area, back when I was doing the meetups and all that, I would meet a lot of programmers who, for Baltimore, they had just opened up their open. It was like I think it was called the Open Government Initiative, essentially where they were dumping all of the governmental information into databases that could be accessed by APIs. And so I met tons of programmers who were screwing around trying to figure out what they could do with those APIs. So one of the guys I talk about, what the hell is his name? Sean Kennedy or something. He worked for AOL, but he was really funny. Like one of the apps, I think he was that Sean? It was somebody else. No, never mind. But anyways, one of the apps that this person developed, it was really funny, it was an app to figure out where it was safest to park and not get a parking ticket if you don't pay for parking. And so what they did is they created this app, and it mined the Baltimore City database, was able to pick up the addresses, and then it was basically able to heat map where tickets were given. Right? So you would see all of the red heat map spots of where the most tickets are given, and then you could just take a look at that visually and see where tickets weren't given and figure that that was probably a safe location. So what this person was thinking is, Baltimore City, parking is an absolute nightmare. If you park in the wrong place, you can get really ridiculously expensive tickets. And so what they thought is, hey, if they're opening up their database to an API, I wonder if I could scrape it for where all these tickets, the addresses of where these tickets are being written, and then I could see where it's safe to park, right? That's the type of thing that you're going to have to start doing if you want to be a programmer, is basically go out there and find problems and then solve the problems. And what you do is you find problems that you think that you can solve, and then you just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger from there, right? So, maybe if you want to create an Android or iOS app in the beginning, maybe you create a little app, and all it does is it's one button, you take a picture, and then as soon as you're done taking the picture, maybe it automatically emails somebody, or it automatically posts to something. So all you have to do is learn the control of taking a picture on a smartphone, and then learn how to send that through an API or through SMTP or something. And then you go, oh, okay, I learned how to do that. And then from there, you learn how to do geotagging with it. And from there, you learn something else. And then from there, you learn something else. From there, you learn something else. So the most important thing with programmers, any IT professional, any tech professional, is that we see problems. We see problems and we try to solve them. So that's what you need to do. You need to go around and take a look and see what problems you think you can solve with a smartphone, and then try to solve them. And then you just keep doing that until somebody pays you. And so the important thing with all this kind of stuff, like with programming, is what you do is you start asking people, have you ever thought about having a mobile app developed? And everybody has an idea for a mobile app. So you'll listen to them. And in the beginning, 90% of them, you're going to be like, I have no idea how to do that, right? But there'll be like 10% where you're like, I think I can do that. And then you sit down and you do it for them. And the first one you do for free, and then the second you do for $100, and the third you do for $300, and the fourth you do for $800, and then you have a little portfolio and you start charging whatever they're willing to pay. So that's what I'd say. Go out, find problems you think you can solve, and go for it. As far as where do you learn iOS or Android development, as I say, start with Dummies books. I really like Dummies books, truly. I would say go with Dummies books, and then I like the Bunny books, the visual quick start guides. But there's other books out there too, and you just self-study and learn and keep trucking along. Do your 30 minutes to an hour a day, and in a year you will be an impressive geek.